Friday, October 25th, 3:01 a.m.
I've been drinking. So what? I found beer and vodka with that jar of eggs and canned shit the caretaker left behind. I don't care about your judgments anymore, Angela. You know, I've already missed 3 check-ins with my parole officer. Yeah, I wasn't sweating it too much at first because I was sure that you or Mr. Briggs would smooth things over. But I'm sure, even if I survive this camping trip in hell, that they're gonna put me back in. If I'm lucky, it'll be a psychiatric hospital. I mean, after all the shit here, I think I'll be able to spin that. I may even really need that. But a drunk kills somebody behind the wheel and cripples another person. There's no get out of jail free card for somebody like me. Now, you have to have Angela Barnes money. Yeah, you never sent me here to help me get out of jail. This is all about control and isolating a problem until it dies out.
Friday, October 25th, 10:12 a.m.
Hey, it's me. I said a lot of things I can't take back, and I think that's all I'm going to say about that, because some of them I still mean, and some of them I'm not sure about. But, Edie, this message is for you. Angela, this is none of your business, but I'm sure you'll listen. If anyone's listening. Edie, I'm sorry how things are. You and I, we're both part of an artificial situation, you know, a synthetic relationship. And when kids are put together, you know, they're kids and they form friendships and they even love each other. But it's a childish kind of love. And as we got older, the fact that everything was being manipulated and it was more like a job than a relationship. And like in any high stress, high stakes, toxic work environment, I think we just stopped seeing each other as people and treating each other as people. But, you know, I got to give myself a break. I was a kid and I grew up in the same screwed up situation you did, just in a different role. We did our best, and I guess that's all I have to say about that, too.
Friday, October 25th, 1:07 p.m.
Okay, down to business. I've got unlimited water because of the spring well, but I'm down to 2 pickled eggs, which I'm saving for tomorrow as provisions, because I am going to use them to fuel my excursion the hell out of this place. Do or die, I have to leave here. There's nothing to eat, and I'm gonna hope I find my way to the bridge and it's still there and the water has receded. I'm a little worried about breathing in that fog because it's not normal. The air feels sticky. It feels greasy. You know, it's clingy. It's more like pollution than fog. It feels like LA smog. It leaves this sort of invisible residue on my skin when I'm out in it. It's slimy. You can barely notice it, but that almost makes it worse because it doesn't go away. And I can't wash it off because the only water out here is the spring water. We don't have hot water. So washing means freezing, you know, and there's no heat except for my shitty little hot plate, which I should be grateful for. It's a miracle the storm did not knock out the power here, or I would have been really screwed. Anyway, I feel gross and filthy all the time and hungry. Really, really hungry. The sound out there in the fog has changed too. That weird background static, it's a lot louder. And I noticed that the droning noise, instead of being everywhere, it only seems to come from one direction.
Thou shalt not trespass there.
I have no idea what that means.
Beware the pool.
And honestly, I'm more interested in getting the hell away from here and never caring. Never thought I would die out in the middle of nowhere. I was sure I was going to die, in prison. Like, no survival skills. I mean, all the time right now, I'm terrified or I'm angry. The two emotions I learned not to have in prison, because those are the two that will get you in shit and you will die. This job was part of the deal, for me to get the hell out of there. But I'm starting to feel like maybe there's no place I belong anymore. I kind of feel like this house, something in this house, just wants to keep me here until I die.
Friday, October 25th, 8:51 p.m.
There's no measure of time here, except my stomach complaining more as the day goes on. And the bright haze and the fog coming through the windows, it slowly fades to a dark haze. But at least digging through your dead Uncle Siegfried's shit is fascinating. Finding a lot of interesting background information on that magical fellow. Seems there were more scandals in his life besides Eloise cracking up. I guess your Uncle Siegfried used to collect these newspaper clippings like some kind of sick mementos or trophies. He was using them as bookmarks in all his creepy wizard tomes. So I've just been flipping through the pages and shaking all the clippings loose. A creepy timeline is starting to come together. Some nasty patterns. By the late 1920s, there was a string of mysterious deaths. All of them were critics that had published harsh reviews of Siegfried's shows, or rival magicians who Siegfried claimed slandered him, or who were trying to steal his secrets. A high percentage of them had fatal accidents while they were alone at home, or committed suicide. And here's the thing, just about all of them received packages from Siegfried. Gifts with letters saying there were no hard feelings for the harsh review. Big boxes like trunks, like the steamer trunks he used in his acts. They were usually full of fruit and candies and flowers. But within a day or two after getting the package, the recipient would, well, let's see. One fell downstairs, one either fell or was pushed out of a window. 3 of them were found strangled with ropes that were never found.
Such easy prey.
One seemed to have been stabbed to death by a burglar who didn't steal anything.
They begged for death.
And all the doors and windows to the house were still securely locked from the inside with no signs of forced entry. Of course, Siegfried was the prime suspect. And he was under intense scrutiny. But every time there was a suspicious death, he was in another city, hundreds of miles away.
Siegfried is part of us now.
Or across the ocean on another continent doing a show. So there's no way he could have personally been involved. And they never found any evidence that he hired anyone to hurt these people.
I was Siegfried once.
He was quoted in the newspapers as joking that if he's guilty of anything, it's killing with kindness, in reference to the lavish gifts he had sent.
Office made, gifts given never forced.
And the scandal caused a sensation, so he was even more popular than ever with sold-out shows. Eventually, the deaths stopped, and police dropped the investigations. There was one police detective who was certain that this wasn't a coincidence and that Siegfried was absolutely responsible. Anyway, this detective, Wendell Morton from New York City, when he wouldn't stop investigating, he was kicked off of the force and became a private investigator. And get this, Siegfried's own brother-in-law, Eloise's brother, Theodore Fulton, hired Wendell Morton to continue investigating Siegfried because Fulton. He was convinced Siegfried was not only responsible for his sister's madness and death, but was still a danger to his niece, little Stella, wherever she was in the world. And Wendell Morton, he was last seen sneaking backstage at a performance Siegfried was giving. And then he was never seen again.
End of messages.
You have much work to do. Make room for Ryan, but he has much work to do. Time is an illusion. Space is a lie. Justify evidence.
And nearly the end. And heed messages. The end. And nears testimony. Pact will be sealed. End of messages.